Welcome back, and today we're going to dive into the wonderful world of traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, and exploring its principles when it comes to nutrition. This is a topic I'm very passionate about, so it can become a little longer topic, but we'll see. I'll try to keep it as short as possible. But TCM teaches us how to eat with harmony, in harmony with nature, and to promote balance, vitality, and long-term health. So we're going to break down 5 essential rules of TCM nutrition that you can start incorporating in your life today. Before I break it down in these rules way, I want to take a quick second to kind of put the basics out there in short form, and then we'll kind of dive a little deeper into each one and why it's a rule. Okay, so number 1 is food classification. So you're looking at the temperature of the food, you're looking at the flavor of the food, you're looking at what organ can this food provide energetic help towards. When you're looking at the food that you're consuming, you're looking at the energetic flow of the food. So say you're eating salty, it's like bringing all the energy inwards and downwards. Things like that. Sour, same thing, bringing energy inwards. That's one. The way that you prepare food. So is it in a more of a warming nature, or is it in a cooling nature? Are you cooking with a lot of water or less water? Are you eating things, steaming things versus grilling things, like that kind of thing. Then number 3 is your inner attitude while you're eating, and your outer attitude while you're eating affects how you digest your food and convert it into proper energy that is needed in your body. Number 4 is food quality, and then 5 is food quantity. So first rule is eat warm and cooked foods. In TCM, warm and cooked foods are easier to digest and are easier on our digestive system, which is seen as the body's central energy hub, or in TCM world, it's Gucci. And eating cold and raw foods out of the fridge, or just cold frozen foods, can weaken digestion and deplete your energy. So it takes more energy from our body, our finite amount of energy in our body, to warm up things that need to be digested, because a cold substance can't be digested very well on its own without the internal heating system. So example would be, you want to swap out cold salads and iced drinks for warm soups and stews and teas, especially during colder months. A tip that you can have, aside from switching to just not eating straight out of the fridge, would be use gentler cooking methods like stir frying, and if you are going to steam with less water. Cook stews, cooking items for longer periods of time, soups. Those types of cooking methods can be really well and keeping your meals warm and nourishing. So another one is food preparation, that kind of falls under the eating warm and cooked foods, is the way foods are heated or prepared is significant in the TCM world. So roasting, baking, slow cooking methods like soups and dals and stews add warmth to foods, while steaming retains their natural essence without overloading the system. And steaming can also be in a cooling method. So if you have too much warmth in your body, steaming vegetables can be a way of still having the healthy nutrients that you need, but in a cooling way of cooling down the system inside of you. Next is my favorite one, and it is follow the seasons. It seems super simple, but we want to live in balance with nature. So TCM emphasizes eating in tune with the seasons to support your body's natural rhythm, and seasonal foods align with the energy of the environment. So this is my favorite now because I don't eat the same fruits and everything all year round, where you kind of lose like the appetite for them, or you don't crave them. So you reserve certain fruits, as an example, or even vegetables, for a season. You only get to eat those around that season time when they're harvested, instead of eating them all year round. And it makes you want to eat these good nutritious foods, because you take a break from them and then you go back to eating them in that season, and you look forward to eating those things in that season. So an example for springtime would be focus on fresh greens and sprouts to detoxify and nourish the liver and the body. In summertime, you want to eat more cooling foods like cucumbers and watermelon to combat heat. In autumn, you want to incorporate moistening foods like Asian pears and root vegetables to moisten our bodies and our cells and tissues, because autumn is a time that a lot of dryness kind of kicks in before winter. And then winter is when you get to enjoy warming dishes with spices like ginger and cinnamon to warm you up from the inside out. And another way of looking at it would be with the food classifications that I was talking about before, similar to TCM herbs, based on temperature. So is it a warming spice or a warming food or a cooling food? The flavor, is it sweet? Is it salty? Is it bitter? Is it pungent? Out of these flavors, each flavor has a direction of energetic flow. So pungent would be up and out is the mechanism. So it brings whatever's inside up and out of you. Whereas sweet would be harmonizing and centering into you. And that's why a lot of people that get sweets, eat a lot of sweets, have a lot of like center gut issues and like moistness, while warm foods heat from the inside and out. All right, so moving on to rule number 3, balance your flavors. Doing a food journal to see what you eat and checking out which flavor is what you're eating. Like if you're eating too much salty food, you're having too much of that salt energetic effect and too much salt in your body, right? Like it creates problems, hypertension, blah, blah, blah. Just like sweet, diabetes, right? Like if you have too much of one flavor or one thing in your diet, you are going to have a subsequent like health problem attached to like your diet being driven towards that one direction mostly. So you want to strive for a balance rather than overloading on one flavor or one taste. So we're going to go over the 5 flavors now, which is sweet, sour, bitter, salty, and pungent. Each flavor also is more effective and works more effective or works around that organ. So sweet would be a spleen or stomach. Sour flavor would be liver, gallbladder. Bitter would be heart, small intestine. Salty would be kidneys, bladder, and pungent is your lungs and large intestine, kind of letting go of things, right? And so an example of all of this could be a meal might include rice, which is sweet, pickled vegetables, which are sour, greens, which are bitter, soy sauce, which is salty, and you can add ginger, which is pungent. So you want to have a well-balanced diet of all of these flavors rather than just all sweet things. So like rice, meat, sweets, dessert. Like you don't want to pack too much of just one flavor. This is also a great time to talk about balancing your food quality. So you want to prioritize having high quality whole foods over processed options. So avoid eating refined sugars, additives that disrupt the body's natural balance. This is like picking an apple as a snack versus one of those like little chewy, flavorful little fruit chewy things. I don't know I don't remember what they're called, but like, you know what I mean? There's apple versus a sweet treat that's been like made in a factory. You know, like one is more nutritious overall than the other. And you want to focus on having more high quality foods and less of those refined processed foods. Number 4 is practice mindful eating. And this one took me a while to really hammer down as a habit myself, because I love food. I love the flavor. I love the smell. I love everything about food and how good it tastes. So usually when it tastes really good, I just want to like eat it really fast and quickly, or I'll be eating while I'm studying or while working or whatever. So the way you eat is just as important as what you eat. So TCM encourages mindfulness to aid digestion and maximize its nutrient absorption. So things like your inner and outer environment matter while you're eating. Your inner is you're eating in a calm, your outer is you're eating in a calm, relaxed environment. And your inner is avoid eating when you're stressed out or while you're studying or while you're working or distracted or on the go. You want to eat while you're calm, inner and outer. You want to chew your food thoroughly to support your digestive chi, your gu chi. And this one can be like tricky because it's like, how much are you supposed to chew? I would say literally chew your food till it's like full pasty in your mouth before you swallow. Or if that's not a good comparison, like around 30 times before you swallow your food. So each bite, you have to chew your food about 30 times, each chew, and then you swallow your food. I know it feels like it'd be a long time, which it can be, but it's setting your body up to process the nutrients that it needs in the most good way that you can. You're supporting your body's digestive system by doing this, because digestion starts in the mouth with the enzymes that come out in your mouth while you're chewing your food. Your inner and outer environment also matter, as you want to cultivate joy and calm while you're eating at mealtime, and avoid eating when you're worrying or arguing, as negative emotions can create an emotional allergy to certain foods over time. So you'll notice that your body will kind of react in a bad way when you're eating certain things that used to be okay eating, and that's because the environment that you're eating around that particular meal or food. Last but not least, number 5, is personalize your diet. In TCM, there's no one size fits all type of diet. Each individual is unique in what nutrients and what food classifications, temperature, flavors, everything is individually and unique to each person. Your unique constitution, your unique lifestyle, your unique health needs determine what's actually best for you to eat. So if you tend to feel cold and sluggish, warming foods like soups and ginger and lamb might benefit you. If you're prone to heat and more inflammation in your body, cooling foods like mung beans and cucumbers may be more appropriate for that person. So I know in a lot of large family dynamics, we kind of just make this one dish for everyone. And while that is great and less work for the person who's cooking, as you grow up and as you have these different symptoms, your diet might differ from the people that you currently surround yourself around, even in a family scenario. So you want to consider consulting a TCM practitioner to identify your body's needs and tailor your nutrition accordingly to what is needed for your body to come back into balance. And yeah, a lot of licensed practitioners have we've been educated on this concept very well, and they will be able to give you an individual tailored nutrition guide, or what to eat, what not to eat, depending on seasons or what is wrong with your body currently. So definitely consult with them. A bonus little tip that I wanted to give was food quantity is the only one that we didn't cover. And you want to maintain balance in your food proportions as on top of the food quality that you have. So in terms of what you want to eat more, there's certain people that say that a complete meat diet works for them, and that may be the case for them, but in TCM, we try to bring our everything that we eat in moderation and in balance. So how much you eat of what is also maintaining balance in its food proportions. So in a day, you should be mostly eating grains, which is 45 to 50% of your diet. Next is vegetables of 35% of your diet. And then meat would be 5%, legumes would be 5%, and fruit would be around 5 to 10% of your diet in a day. And I say this with a lot of emphasis that I have seen people try to use legumes as their only source of protein. Like if you're a vegetarian, right? Like you would obviously have a higher legumes count or grains and vegetables count because you're not eating any meat. So you tailor that to how you're eating. Remember that this is going to be a slow process and a slow correction. Don't try to do everything that I've kind of shared in this video all at once. Start with one section or one rule and incorporate that for like a month or two, and then go to the next rule. Because if you try to change all of these things all at the same time and at once, you more than likely will get overwhelmed and revert back to your old way of eating and old way of thinking and patterns of all of that. So if you feel like you're stressed a lot of the times, maybe focus on that rule versus some of the other rules. Or if you eat a lot of cold foods, maybe focus on that part rather than the other ones initially. So pick and choose. This is your life and your body and your nutrition health that you'll have to take into consideration. Okay, well, there you have it. The 5 rules of TCM nutrition, and to help you eat a balanced diet that gives you energy and overall wellness. Remember, TCM is about creating harmony within and with the world around you. So if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more TCM and wellness content, and let me know if you have any comments about any of the rules that you're excited to try, and if you try one and how it went for you. And until next time, stay balanced and healthy.